Alright, quick video. This is going to be a really important video. I know I say this with every video, but I think this is a pretty important video. And it's a simple concept, and it's not being an NPC is the ideal of this conversation today. What is an NPC? It's a non-playable character. If you're not a video game fan, or if you're not into video games, you see it a lot in video games where you play as a certain character, story mode. Resident Evil 4 just came out, so maybe you're Leon, and then you got all these characters, or Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out soon. When I say soon, I mean 2 years from now. At the time I'm making this video, it's like 2 years, or a year. I think it is 2 years. Anyways, no, it would be a year. Anyways, you got the main character, then you got all these other characters that just kind of walk around the game world, and they have certain lines that they say, and they're bound by certain rules, and they just don't stand out at all. Essentially, they don't stand out. They are fodder for you anime guys out there. They're the equivalent of fodder. So if you play, I doubt that there's people who play anime, who watch anime but don't play video games. So you guys should understand both of the terms. And the reason why this is so important is because most people in life are fodder. I don't mean to say this in the ego sense. Everybody's been there, but because when you're growing up, you're just learning things about life and you don't really understand. It's much easier when you're growing up as a kid to fall in line with everybody else because it's much safer because you don't know anything. But as people get older, you should be able to figure out yourself and figure out the things that you like and the things that you want and how to dress. And it seems as though most people don't get that. When I look around, most people dress the same way. So I figured this out back in high school. When I was about 14, 15, I had gone through a really deep depression. I'm not gonna get into why, because it really isn't important. It's typical high school, like teenage angst, being depressed over really nothing in the grand scheme of things. I was depressed, and I started to look around at certain things and see things differently, and I started to really pay attention to just people, and I started listening to different music that most people listen to, and I just realized there's a pattern in how people dress. Like I would notice that typical girls who get with certain guys, I would see a trend because I hung out with a lot of girls, and these girls will always complain about the same guys essentially. Like, oh, this guy's a fuckboy. I'm not gonna make this about that at all, but the girls I hung out with would always say this all the time. Like, man, this guy's a fuckboy. This guy's this, and I always tell them like, come on, like, again, like this is, you always tell me this, like you always fall for it, like this is getting old, especially because the guys were always the same essentially to me. There were guys who were like Jansport backpacks, shorts, and Vans. I would always notice this like a lot. Like these are the guys who were essentially the fuck boys. And you get your cliques, you get people who are chill. They don't really have much skills. They skate a little bit, but they would wear that kind of dress too. Then you get the jocks, who if they're not in the gym and they're wearing, like Nike gear on, then yeah, they're wearing that exact fit I just said. Like on their just regular days, they're wearing that, and it was so weird to me because the way I dressed, because I was a dancer, I felt as though I needed to wear joggers because it felt much more comfortable to just pop out and dance and do that than to wear shorts that are like somewhat baggy but they're kind of restrictive. Like they don't look appealing either. It just didn't have, and if I wanted to slide on the ground, like it wouldn't make any sense to me to do that with shorts because it would hurt my knees. So I never did wear that sort of thing, but I would see most people wear it, and I noticed it, and I saw a trend, and I was like, why is this a thing? And this is kind of what people, it was in high school, and that's fine, but this is what most people still do even after high school, even as they get older, even into their adulthood. They still wear the same clothes, they still wear the most popular clothes, they still don't have any sort of individuality about themselves. And this is so important for attraction. You guys know that this page is all about making yourself as attractive as possible. I talk about pretty privilege. I talk about how you can achieve a model body physique, nutrition. I talk about working out properly, how to work out your face, how to do certain things that just make you much more attractive as a person, as a human being. And one of these things that is a very simple concept that people don't seem to understand is to be an individual. I know that sounds crazy, right? But most people are NPCs. Every time they go out, I had this with myself again through high school and middle school. They have this idea that you need to wear different clothes every single day because, if you don't, then you just seem like a broke person who's very poor and who's very unclean and who did laundry there. That's not true. I promise you guys, if that's something that you think about, I went through senior year of high school wearing the same clothes every single day. I would wear a hoodie. It was a black hoodie. It's my favorite. I think I'd wear pants this time around, or I would wear joggers again. And I would wear that every single day because I didn't care. I had moved around. I didn't care at all about what people thought. At this point, I was done. I was like, it's senior year. I've been moving. I had all my dancer friends back in freshman, sophomore year, and I moved around now since then. And I've lost a lot of friends, and I don't care what people think of me. To sit there and think that people are going to judge you and people are going to ignore you more because you seem like a person who doesn't wash your clothes and you're wearing the same stuff, it's a complete opposite effect that I got. Maybe because I was a new kid, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you guys, when I was in my senior year, the amount of attention I had gotten was ridiculous. And I kept my head down and never talked to anyone. And I think the simple reason was because I did wear the same clothes every single day and I didn't care. Whereas everybody else cared and they wear different clothes and they just didn't stand out as a person. Like I had a signature look, a signature personality. I stood out as an individual. I remember once I wanted to ask for one, the hottest girl at that school that I had went to, is a very small school, so there wasn't a lot of people there to begin with, but the hottest girl at that school was really into me for some reason, and I caught the attention of everybody at the school, because again, it was small, maybe like 200 people in that school. It's a very small school. It was like a charter school. For some reason, she was really into me, and I didn't do anything. Like, she would try to put her arms around me, and I would just sit there like this, like I wouldn't care. Even the teachers knew. Like, she was people thought I had the teachers thought she was my girlfriend because they would see through a window that she was holding my arms, and it caught attention of everybody. And I wouldn't talk to anybody, and I wore the same clothes again. Didn't say anything, and yet I was one of the most popular kids at the school. Again, she tried to get me to go to movies with her, and nothing happened. But it caught the attention of a lot of people. And then there was one time where I went to go ask a girl apparently who was really smart at English. I had asked my teacher for help on some projects. She said, talk to this other girl. I went to go talk to her. I went up to her just straight up just because I needed help with this project. And she was with a group of friends. And again, same hoodie on, same fit on, I don't care. And she was like, okay, I'll help you with this, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to go walk off, and then all the girls were screaming because it was almost like a celebrity just wanted to talk to them. Now, I can get into, the female-male dynamics. I'm not going to get into in this video and why that happened, but the point of this video is that to think that you as a guy or you as a girl has to appeal to the, the general world and its rules and to fall in line in this certain way is completely and utterly wrong. It's much better to stand out as a person, and that's what I found at myself, being a person who didn't care and just completely decided to do their own thing. Anytime you play video games, the main character typically wears the same clothes every single day. If you're playing with Nico in GTA 4, he has the same jacket on and the same pants and the same look every day. GTA 2, 3, again, same rules apply. If you go Resident Evil 4, again, throughout the whole game, it's not like he's changing clothes. It looks the same. Think of any game. Think of anime. You look at Naruto, he's got the same dress on, pretty much the same color combination, orange and black, the same just headband, the same look throughout the whole show. And you recognize him because of it. You love him because of it. Breaking Bad. Peaky Blinders. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I'm trying to think. I like The Walking Dead quite a bit. I know this doesn't appeal to everybody. I know those, but just think of any show that you like, and the main character always has a signature look, like a very signature look that they don't change about themselves really, and it makes them stand out because of it. And I want people to get this because most people are like NPCs where they don't really have anything special about them. They just kind of wear simple clothes, or they don't have anything different. Like they don't have something about them. And just imagine if Naruto was every day was just wearing something different, like a different clothing, like a different anything. Just it wouldn't work the same. Even when it comes to superhero comics like Batman, the reason why he's Batman is because he wears the same thing every single day. There's a signature look. There's something about them, and I want people to understand that. I want you guys to understand that for yourself. Is that NPCs are the ones who are worried about people gonna care if I wear the same clothes this week? I wear the same shirt this week. Is people gonna notice that? No, they're not. They would notice it if you wear that clothing, that pants every single day. Of course, you can't please everybody. Somebody's gonna be like, "That's weird. That's weird," but that's still attractive, though. I guess somebody might say it's weird, but then you're still getting attention. The worst thing that can happen in this world is that you don't get attention. So, stop wearing different clothing. In fact, I find it much better. And if you guys are interested in, because I wear the same hat every day. I come on here, it's shirtless. I wear the same pants every single day. I got the heroin pants, the baggy pants, the parachute pants, aka. You can go to my website, eclipseclothing.biz, and if that interests you, you guys can order it off there. This is the signature clothing that I wear typically when I want to be Eclipse. I don't always want to be Eclipse when I'm walking around. I do just want to not get noticed sometimes. But if you are somebody who want to be more of an attractive person, if you want to stand out more just naturally, if you want to have that halo effect, that star status, then find clothing that you like, that looks good on you, and wear it every single day. Don't change it. Don't change styles. There's people out there who have really excellent fashion sense, but then they are constantly wearing different styles. Like one day they wear a suit, but then one day they feel like they want to be a skater, so they think that it's nice to just have that diversity, when in reality, it's not really nice. Like nobody's gonna notice, nobody's gonna care. You're not gonna stand, unless you're a really attractive person. Doing that, first off, the cost analysis is just too much. It takes too much time, too much effort too. Whereas if you wear a similar style every single day, like I do, it doesn't take much thought to just put things together, and you can create a system where you just wear the same clothing essentially every single day without much work, and people are gonna notice you. That is far, far better than having to spend time in your closet thinking, oh, okay, fine, did I wear the same clothing this week? I wore it on Monday. Okay, no, it's Tuesday. No, I can't. That is a waste of time. Wear a style that fits you and stick with it. People are gonna notice you, trust me. Don't be an NPC. Be like the main characters. Like the Gokus, the Supermans, the Walter Whites. I'm trying to think of another show. I was gonna say The Office, but they wear different clothes all the time. But their personalities were on point. You can always count on them to be a certain type of person, which again is not NPC style. That's main character energy. Yeah, I can't think of another show. I'm trying to think of my favorite shows. All of them are pretty hardcore, so I don't think you guys would relate to it. But any show that you like out there, like, they typically are a certain type of person and they act a certain way every single time and dress a certain way. That's how I want you guys to be. It's the most attractive thing that can happen. And if you haven't read my ebook, it's coming out soon, but by the time most of my views would come on this page, it would already be out already. And I talk about the sun and how attractive the sun is and how it relates to attraction as a whole. And being a familiar person is like being the sun. The sun, as stringent it is, we can count on it to do the same thing and be the same thing, entity every single day. The sun doesn't change. It's the same thing. And because of that, we love it. Like, we are very much attracted to it because it's clockwork, right? If you're the same kind of person in the same sense where people can count on you to be a certain way and they can count on you to wear certain things, then people are going to recognize you. People are going to remember you much better than somebody who's constantly just changing. Like a very emotional person, like everybody else, can't count on them to be the same person, to have the same ideals, to act in the same way they did, or to dress as simple as that, to even dress the same way. Just people just don't wear anything that stands out or anything. Don't be an NPC is the takeaway of this video. Hope you guys have a good day.